Last week, one of my students asked me during our class, "Teacher, how can I build my English vocabulary?" And as he asked me the question, I could see the frustration written all over his face. And do you know why I could see the frustration? Because I had been there too. You see, I speak Korean now, but years ago when I was studying Korean, it was difficult. And I remember one specific night when I was in my room and I was getting ready to go to bed, and I could feel the frustration beginning to build because I had a vocabulary test the next day. And I wasn't confident, and I didn't feel like I had learned enough vocabulary. So I decided to wake up the next morning around 4 a.m. to study and to memorize even more vocabulary words. But when my alarm went off at 4 a.m., I only remember frustration, anxiety, and fear. Because I had about 100 vocabulary words to memorize before the exam, and I felt like it was impossible. I thought to myself, what am I doing? How come I can't take this information and these vocabulary words and use them? So when I saw my student's face, when he was asking me the same question, I felt his pain. And I think you may experience the same thing on a regular basis. This frustration that comes from not being able to build your English vocabulary and use the vocabulary like a native English speaker. Well, I have good news for you. Don't worry. Today, I have 4 simple steps that will help you take your English to the next level and help you build your English vocabulary. But now, before I show you these steps, I have a quick favor. You see, my goal as a teacher is to help 1 billion students, you heard me right, 1 billion students gain confidence in their ability to speak English. But I need your help. All you have to do is like this video, share it, and subscribe. One more time, like this video, share it, and subscribe. How does this help? Well, you see, the more people that see this video, the more students that learn what you're about to learn, the more students will gain confidence. So we're a family. Let's work together. So again, like, share, and subscribe. I'm Teacher Tiffani. Let's jump right in. All right, so let's get started. We see there are 2 individuals here on the screen, and they're surrounded by different things. We see the news or sports, pets or animals, hiking and cooking. Now, these things represent different interests or hobbies a person may have. Now, let's see which one they like. She likes the news. He likes cooking. She likes sports. He likes hiking. She likes pets, and he likes to read. So these 2 individuals have different interests, different things that they think about or research. So when they speak about these things in their language, they're able to speak fluently because they enjoy these things. Well, you see, this is the first thing I want you to understand before we go into our steps. You must learn vocabulary words related to the topics you are already interested in. A lot of you are getting frustrated because you're learning vocabulary words related to the news, but you don't care about the news. Or you're learning vocabulary words to pass an exam and you can't make the connection with your actual life. Don't worry. I'm going to help you with the 4 simple steps, but you first must recognize what your interests are. Write them down. Hey, what do I think about on a regular basis? What am I interested in? And now let's go into the first step. After you've realized that, here's what you need to do. The first step, input. Find vocabulary words related to the topics you are actually interested in. Now, this step is very key, but there are different ways to input the information. So let me show you. For first, you can say, I'm going to pause. Some of you have trouble with the F sound. Even native English speakers struggle sometimes. So first, not fourth, first, you're going to search online. You can choose to search online. And again, how do you do this? Search for vocabulary words on the internet using Google or another search engine. Again, this is just one way of finding vocabulary words. Or you can choose to watch or listen. Watch or listen to videos, movies, and podcasts about the specific topic. Now, you'll notice that it's not just about books when you're trying to learn vocabulary. you can look at real life situations. All right. Now, the other way is a vocabulary book. All right. Get a vocabulary book and look for words related to the specific topic. So again, this is step one. We're inputting information, but we're not going to stop here. The story I told you about when I was studying for that exam, I was only inputting the vocabulary words, which is why I was getting frustrated because I was never able to use them properly. All right. So step one, input. Now we move on to step number two, process. So you're going to store and analyze the vocabulary words you learn in step one. How do we do this? You can choose to memorize the words. So memorize the words you found in step one and try to master them. So what am I saying? Memorizing is important. It is a part of your English language learning journey. It is a part of it, but it's step two, memorizing the words, okay? Or you can write and describe. Now, the second way to process information is to write the interesting words you learned, again, from the videos or the audio clips, and also describe the scene or situation. Now, we talked about this in last week's video. When you learn something from a video, like this video right here with me, if you hear me say an idiom or an expression or a vocabulary word you've never heard before, take it in, then write it down and describe. I learned this word from teacher Tiffani in this video when she was talking about ... You're giving your brain, a trigger, a connection that will help you remember the word later on. Again, this is just step two of the 4-step process. All right. Or you can connect a topic. Now, connect each word to a specific topic and think about how it relates to it. So you'll see every time I go to the how-to section, you'll see 3 columns because you can pick the track or the path you want to take. If you follow path 1 for all 4 steps, that's okay. Or path 2 or path 3. All right. So step 1, again, what is it? Input. Very good. Step 2, process. Very good. Now what's step 3? Let's go back to my screen. Step 3 is review. You're going to go over the vocabulary words and test yourself until you feel comfortable. So this is very important, but it's not the last step. You have to input the information. Then you have to allow your brain to kind of connect and process. And then you need to recall, review what you learned. All right. So how do you do that? Here we go. You can create flashcards. Create flashcards for each word and test yourself until you master each of them. Now, this video is not sponsored, but a lot of my students in the academy tell me that they like using Anki, A-N-K-I. So it's not sponsored, but it's a great it's a great product. It's totally free, online Anki, and it's a great way to make online flashcards, okay? All right, the next thing you can do is a situation quiz. So find images of different situations and try to apply the words to those situations. All right. So let's say, for example, I learned the word angry. Now, again, you may know this word, but what is it connected to? When I said angry, probably in your mind, it popped up an image of someone looking like this, right? So if I'm looking at an image, right, the image on my screen, and I see a little boy, he looks cute. But if I want to connect angry, the little boy's mom is angry because he's touching the tree. You see how I formulated a sentence or an idea using the word and the image. That's what you want to do when you are reviewing, okay? Or you can create a list of categories. So break each set down into smaller groups based on categories that you decide. All right. So again, this is step 3. So step 1, input. Step 2, process. And step 3, review. Now this last step, step 4, is where you really are going to take your vocabulary to the next level. All right. So the next step, step number 4, is output. So you need to apply what you learned by using the words in real situations. So first thing you can do, text or comment. So you can use the vocabulary words in a text conversation or a comment under a video. So again, every week I teach you a new thing, a new lesson, a new English lesson. In the comment section, use a word that you learned to comment on the video. If you want to talk to your friends, again, I mentioned that last week as well, the power of teaching somebody else. You can text your friends, yo, did you hear about this new word? Or you can say something about a situation you're already talking about, but put it in a text message, okay? Now, the next thing you can do for output is teach it or talk about it. Teach the words to someone or explain how you learned the words. Again, if you have children, teach your kids. If you have friends who are also learning English, teach them what you learn. Your brain is so amazing. I know last week someone made a comment, teacher, your brain is awesome. Mine is not. I can't remember the student's name, but no, all of you, each and every one of you, your brain is amazing. So your brain will start to make these connections. So if you go through all 4 steps, you get here and start talking about the words and teaching them to someone, I guarantee your brain will start making those connections. Now, the last thing you can do, you can choose to describe a situation. Talk about a real life situation with a friend and use the words you learned. Now, I guarantee, like I said earlier, the frustration you experience when you're trying to learn vocabulary words and use them, I get it. I've been there. I totally understand. But these 4 simple steps, man, first input, then process, then review, and then output. If you follow these 4 simple steps, I guarantee that your vocabulary, you'll start to build your vocabulary very quickly. Now, I don't want to stop here. I have a part 2 to this video where I give words and examples, and I actually give actual websites and videos to watch. But again, part 2 is always for my Academy students, and I want to encourage you to join the family, because if you enjoy part 1 of this video, if you enjoy part 1 of any videos I have, you're going to definitely enjoy part 2, but you have to be a member of my Academy. Click the link in the description. You'll see it right here on the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really did enjoy creating it for you because I know what you're going through and I want to help you. So 4 simple steps, again, input, process, review, and output. Follow these 4 simple steps and I guarantee you will start to build your vocabulary today. All right, guys, I will talk to you next week. But as always, remember to speak English. You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right, guys. So today's story is interesting. I'll tell you a story that happened when I was in university, and I learned a valuable lesson from this experience. So I've told you all many times that I was very athletic. I love sports and I was a runner. I participated in almost any sport that was available. I participated in that sport when I was in school. But I also liked martial arts. So, karate or kung fu. And when I was in university, there was a guy there, an older gentleman, and he was a kung fu master. I say that, but he taught Muay Thai and Kung Fu. So I started training with him. Myself and another good friend of mine, we started training with him about once or twice a week. And it was very intense because you have to memorize all of the positions, memorize the stances, understand how to dodge and how to punch and how to use the opponent's energy. And there were a lot of things that we had to understand. So I remember this one time, though, we were sparring. Sparring is when you kind of, you're fighting each other. You're not angry. It's just practice. And you're trying to hit each other, but you're also trying to avoid being hit. So my friend, it was a guy, he and I were sparring and our coach was standing with us. And so we're standing there and we're sparring and I don't like to get hit at all. So my friend, here's some slang for you, tagging. So if someone hits you like that, we can say, oh, he or she tagged you, right? So anyway, my friend, he was hitting me, but it was a little bit hard. So I was getting angry. Now, again, I'm not a yeller. I don't yell. If I get angry, I get real quiet, and yeah, my blood starts boiling. So anyways, we're sparring, and my coach is standing there. And my friend, he tags me one time. It hurts a little bit because it's in my face. Oh, another thing is, we don't like to get hit in the face at all. Okay, so he tags me once, then he tags me again, and I'm getting angry. So as I'm getting angry, I'm starting to move faster, but I'm not able to tag him back, and I'm getting frustrated. So my frustration is building. My friend keeps tagging me. I'm getting angry, and I'm losing control. So my coach tells us both to stop. And then he pulls me to the side. And again, this is my friend, so I'm okay, but I'm getting a little angry. My coach says, Tiff, you're getting mad because he's tagging you, but you're not controlling your anger or your frustration. He said, you can't think clearly, which is why you're not able to respond to him or tag him. He said, you must take control of your thoughts. You must be in control of your emotions. So I said, okay. Now, again, remember, I'm upset, but I'm trying to listen to my coach. So I go back, and my friend and I are practicing again. And my friend tags me, and I'm about to get frustrated and angry, and I can see my coach's eye kind of saying, relax, Tiff. So I relax. And the moment I relaxed is when I was able to anticipate my friend's move. So when I was relaxed, I saw my friend go like this. I dodged, and I tagged him. So the things started to change. I started tagging my friend more, again, hitting or tagging, and I can't show you the full movement because we only have this much in the frame, but sorry. But yeah, I noticed, I never forgot that situation because my coach was trying to help me understand, Tiff, when you're frustrated or when you're experiencing anxiety or anger, you cannot control your thoughts. You cannot have control of your actions, and you do things that you don't realize you'll do. The same can kind of be applied for you as you're studying English. When you get frustrated and you're feeling like, I just can't do this anymore, your brain's not going to take in any information. Your brain's not going to process the information it should. So when you feel frustrated and angry, relax. Take a moment, step back from your studies, give yourself a breather, and then come back and study again. When you're angry and frustrated, nothing can come in and nothing can go out. So I never forgot that experience, and I think it will remain with me for the rest of my life. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you later.